More on this topic. We're joined now by Bryan Clark, director of the Hudson Institute Center for Defense Concepts and Technology. He's here to discuss this. Good morning, Bryan. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mitch. Great to be here.
So for a while there, as you heard Kelsey report, the U.S. officials said these are not the right tanks. They take a long time to train. Maybe it's not right situationally. Why do you believe there's a sudden change of heart here?
Well, it looked like the Germans were holding out until the United States agreed to send Abrams tanks. So the Germans weren't going to send Leopard tanks or allow Leopard tanks to be sent until the U.S. pitched in with some of its own Abrams tanks. So that was really what broke the logjam, if you will. I think the Abrams tanks are going to be of kind of moderate level of value to the Ukrainians because, as Asher was saying, they require jet fuel because they use a gas turbine engine. They have a lot of maintenance. They're pretty complicated. They're going to take a while to train on, but it's more of the messaging that sends that the U.S. is in support of this move, and it's in support of giving more offensive capabilities to Ukraine.
So as of 2016, the U.S. estimates that it's $6.2 million per tank. We're talking about sending 30 tanks. And I bring up the cost to ask you, are we just sending 30 tanks so that Germany will send whatever number of Leopard tanks that they are sending because that's actually what Ukraine needs, but Germany won't send them unless we send ours?
That's correct. The U.S. tanks that we're saying, the Abrams tanks, are some of the older ones. It looks like that's the reporting, that they've been some of the older ones that the U.S. Would not necessarily use themselves. But these are more of that, break the logjam, get the Leopard tanks from European countries to go into Ukraine. The reason being, Russia has hundreds of tanks right now arrayed along the front. And so to counter that and give the Ukrainians the ability to go on the offensive, they need hundreds of tanks of their own. Those hundreds of tanks are available in Europe, but they're all Leopard 2s. And so Germany had to sign off on that. And to get Germany to sign off on it, the U.S. had to send some of its own tanks over.
Oh, geopolitics. It's just never simple. Bryan, let me ask you this. Is this an escalation, in your opinion?
No, it's not. I mean, the Russians are arguing that tanks are kind of inherently an offensive capability, and this is maybe the first move that the United States has made to give Ukraine something that's inherently offensive. But they're really, of limited range. Obviously, they're not going to be able to reach into Russia, and this will give Ukraine the ability to push back in a pretty moderate manner against the Russian advance. So I don't think it's an escalation. I don't think any people that analyze this problem would think of it as an escalation. But rhetorically, Russia will use it that way.
Well, and when it comes to Germany not wanting to send tanks unless the United States send tanks, I wonder if they are worried about Russia taking this war to them. This proxy war is becoming less and less proxy every time we ship another weapon system over there. And I also wonder if there's a risk of adding in more from Iran or China as they seek to support Russia in this case.
Yeah, so part of this is Germany trying to avoid Russian retaliation, but mostly it's about German domestic politics, where the German population is sort of mixed in terms of its opinion on how much to support Ukraine. They prefer the war to end relatively soon and just get back to business. I think they see the tanks as another way that the war gets extended, and then maybe things are not kept, never reach stability in Europe. And I think that's maybe the German population's concern. So this is really about German domestic politics more than it is about geopolitics.
Okay, Bryan Clark, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.